Yo, what's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. Reason being, uh, unbeknownst to me, the last video actually ended abruptly due to the storage being full. So I spoke for another maybe minute just to wrap that video up. So sorry for that. But but the point of that video was really just saying how, like, when my uncle was on top and when he, hit rock bottom, and it doesn't get much more rock bottom than prison. My father always said the reason he respected him so much is that he was the same guy when he was up versus when he was down. Like, there was no difference. He's that, like, who he was who he was. And that's something that I guess I failed at, because, my uncle, I suppose, was a better man than me. But it is something that I'm trying to adhere to now, because you is the only constant here. And so going through Kratom withdrawal or rock bottom would usually coincide with each other. Like, if you're going through withdrawal, this is probably rock bottom for you. But yeah, and other than that, I think I just mentioned something along the lines of, like, obviously I'm winding the channel down because I just don't have much else to say. I think I've exhausted every avenue in regards to this substance. What else? Yeah, I mean, and like I said, it's just always been greatly appreciated. The Kratom community is really diverse and has a lot of good people in it, man. And so, you guys, I know you feel alone. I know I felt alone. And it's largely a situation where you are going to have to go through this by yourself. I mean, if you have a family support system and, you can rely on that, then more power to you, man. Especially, there's one dude on here that has a wife that, like, she was the one recording his video every day. She would ask him how he's doing. So if you have something like that, I mean, that's great. But for those of us that don't, or for those of us that are just loners largely, then, we just got to do it off of our internal fortitude. That's just the way it goes. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a saying, the loneliest fish grows the largest. So, at the end of the day, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. And all you really got to do is get past that hump. The humps are different for all of us, but generally speaking, like, day one is usually cake, and that's when you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. But, like, you might even sleep night one. But from 2 on, it gets rough, especially, well, the day is rough because you're kind of, like, bored and your mind is scrambled. But then at night, you're just very uncomfortable, and you're not going to get any sleep, and that's going to go on for quite a while. But day 4, you should actually feel a little bit of relief. You should start seeing a little bit of progress. And then, the next leg after that, it just gets progressively easier. So, yeah, at this point, I'm just recycling through some of the things I've told you. The most prominent topic that I would get asked about was always the relapses. People would put long time off, and they'd slip. And I'm kind of sick of talking about relapses, but I understand. But, like, In this case, this individual, she had about a month and a half off after like a years, and then fell back into it, and I think it's like 3 weeks. Honestly, I was trying to say, and I'll tell you, because you say you watch, as long as like your relapse time is less than the time you had off, I don't really see you having to struggle much longer than 5 days, you know, and it won't be nowhere near the struggle you had to get to the month and a half. So good luck to you. And then also, it's cool to hear like the successes, like people who have even more time off than I have, and those that, even through the messages. And here's how you know it's a success is like, or actually, it could be a double-edged sword. Like initially, they'll be like messaging all like constantly. And then after like 5 days, it gradually lessens. And then there's like a little, like a last like ditch, chaos messages again. And then there's like one last message of like, I got 10 days and 9 days. And then I don't hear from her for a while, you know. No, I don't take it personally. I don't think you can, truthfully. But I think it's just a success. I think it shows, I think it shows like success. Or it's the opposite, where they just caved and they feel shame or embarrassed or guilt and all that, which is understandable. Look, I felt it. Like I didn't even want to post after I relapsed. You know, so I was like, fuck, man. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to always make this channel authentic, because it's only hurting myself and the viewer too if I'm not, you know. So don't be ashamed, man. Like, I'm not gonna fucking judge. Who am I? You know, who am I to judge you for doing something I've done? You know, like, come on. So, you know, it's all good. I just, you know, like after a while though, it's like, man, you already know what to do. You know, like at this point, it's like, you kind of already know what to expect. It's the same shit. You don't got amnesia. You know, it hasn't been that long. But end of the day, just want to say thank you guys for the support. Definitely for the support. And also for the hating too. You know, both are equally motivated. You know, so yeah. I doubt, at least, I'll be posting much in the future. I mean, between two channels, I think I've done my part, you know, with contributing to this community. So, at any rate, you know, it's not like I'm abandoning y'all. I'll definitely still try to help, or, you know, give encouragement and just pay it forward. But as far as like these type of videos and shit, I think it's a wrap. And I think this is a good video to end it on anyway. All right, so thank you. You guys take care, and good luck to all y'all in the struggle too. I got a backlog you can check out, so you don't need to hear from me no more. All right, peace.